I tried a new sea salt wave spray today and I'm not impressed. My hair looks so greasy in the length, not at the crown, so I don't think that this will be a keeper. Hi everyone, welcome back to Linda Libra Loca. Today I wanted to review a foundation for you, and the foundation is the Marc Jacobs Remarcable Full Coverage Foundation Concentrate. And I don't have the full size, I just have a sample, so I can't show you a picture, but I can tell you what it claims. It says that a few dots are just enough for full coverage, natural finish, and that it's suitable for all skin types. When I got the sample in store, I was told that it is a demi-matte finish, something that I like. So yeah, I was excited to give it a go. And I'm going to start by priming half of my face with the L'Oreal Infallible Primer. And I am going to prime the right side of my face. And I usually wear a primer like this every day because my skin in the wintertime has a tendency to get dehydrated and my foundation will sink into my pores. That's obviously not a pretty look. And this one is mattifying, which always helps on my combination oily, acne-prone, mature, dehydrated skin. I have used this numerous times and it really just needed a tiny bit. So this sample lasted me a long time, and I found the best way was to actually apply it with your fingers, because when I tried to apply it with a brush or with my beauty blender, I felt like it got patchy really easily. So don't use too much. As you can see, a little goes a really long way. I used this in my Christmas 2017 makeup and I applied it with a brush, and if you look closely you can see what I mean by it getting patchy. And yes, this color is way too pink for me, but sadly in Germany I can only get the color 10, which is light with pink undertones, and not the color 14, which would be light with yellow undertones, and the next darker one is way too dark for me, so that's a shame. There are many more shades on the American Sephora website. As you can see, it's pretty easy to spread with your fingers, and it covers these spot marks that I have very good with just a thin layer because I barely used any product. Okay, that's the foundation done. Already here on the bridge of my nose where it didn't prime, the foundation kind of clings to dry patches that I didn't even know I had before that. Yeah, it's the same around an old zit here, especially around my nostrils. And what I did notice when I was doing my makeup after I'd done this foundation, this transfers quite a long time. It takes a long time to sit. So if I'm going to rest my thumb on my chin for whatever reason and then remove it, you can kind of see that the foundation has lifted off. That will get better with time, but this foundation needs either powder or a long time to set. And now I'm going to quickly do the rest of my makeup, apply some bronzer so I don't let that ghostly pale on my face, and then I'll be right back. And I'm back with kind of a winter makeup look. It has been around 15 minutes, maybe 20 with all the filming that the foundation has been on my face, and now it does not transfer. I absolutely can't feel it on my skin. That's one of the great things about this foundation. It's absolutely weightless, but first impression, just like I said, it clings to dry patches and it settles into my pores even on the side that I primed. So there's no real difference between the primed and the unprimed side. You can't notice it at about arm's length difference, but if you come any closer, like my mirror is here, I can kind of see it here where I have the largest pores. And this is not really a cheap foundation, so first impression isn't that good, but I'm going to show you how it wears through the day because, spoiler alert, this is one of the foundations that get better with wear time. Right now, Lightweight, yes. The coverage is more of a matte than a demi-matte. It actually looked kind of flat before I put other products on my face. I'm not wearing powder, I'm not wearing highlighter, I'm just wearing bronzer and a pop of blush. And yeah, a tendency to sink into my pores, but amazing coverage. So, quick checkup before I have to head out and pick my son up from daycare. The settling into the pores goes on. I don't think you'll be able to see, maybe a little on the chin, but almost everywhere around my T-zone I have foundation in my pores, sitting in my pores, and I can smooth it out when I go over it with my fingers, and it's just noticeable if you're pretty close up. Won't be noticeable on arm's length, but it's kind of a deal breaker for me because it's not cheap foundation. Other than that, I really like it. I didn't powder, I didn't put on any highlighter, and it looks like nothing, despite being completely full coverage. So yeah, maybe if pores aren't an issue, that might be the foundation for you, because it still sits lovely and it is very, very lightweight, and yeah, just can't feel it. And I'm back. It's around 9 p.m. and yeah, I have been wearing this foundation for around 12 hours, yes. I just worked out, then dropped down here to do my evening skincare routine, so yeah, I look a little sweaty, I'm sorry. I don't think, I watched back the footage and I don't think the camera is actually picking up how much this has settled into my pores and still continues to settle in my pores. But yeah, now 12 hours later, I'm ready to share my final verdict. As you can probably see around my jawline and my chin, there's a slit that you can see. The foundation is pretty much gone. What stays is in my whole T-zone, not so much in my forehead, but around next to my nose and even on my chin in this part here, is that the foundation settled into my pores. Didn't make a difference if I was wearing primer or not. And yeah, that I can see it, and it still emphasizes cracks on my nose. I tried to capture it on picture, but I don't think that I succeeded. I know now from experience that I can prolong the wear time of this foundation if I use a fixing spray and a base, and if I set it with setting powder to 10 hours until it starts fading, which is okay because that's a normal workday for me, but yeah, it's not, it doesn't live up to its 18 hours wear claim. And as it's a pretty expensive foundation, I don't think that I am going to repurchase. But to sum things up, the pros are it's absolutely lightweight. You just need a tiny bit because it has really high coverage, and once you spread it on your face, it will leave a light layer that evens out your skin tone beautifully and that you won't feel it all throughout the day. It does take a little time to set, but after it sets, it really looks like skin, like a more matte version of my skin, and it doesn't transfer. The cons are that it settles horribly into my fine lines and into my pores, and that it emphasizes any texture. So I think if you have dry skin, or like I, mature skin that suffers from breakouts with dryness around old zits, this foundation is not going to work for you. If you have really large pores, this is probably a foundation that will need a lot of work to look pretty, but yeah, if you just have hyperpigmentation that you want to cover and otherwise your skin is pretty smooth and you don't have that many fine lines, and your skin is normal to oily, not dry, then I think this will be a great foundation for you. Please share in the comments below if you have any experiences with this foundation, if you have any recommendations for a full matte, non-texture enhancing, non-into pore settling foundation that works for mature skin, oily skin, acne prone skin. Subscribe so you don't miss any further uploads, and yeah, I'm going to see you all very soon with another video. Bye!